on. It was priceless.
Y'all can help me say it.
Well, there you go. The Rams and Saints met twice last season. You might remember. Last November, the Saints handed the 8-0 Rams their first loss of the season. Michael Thomas, a franchise record, 211 yards in the win. But L.A. got the revenge, the NFC title game at the Superdome. The Rams erased a 13-point deficit in a game that you had some controversy you probably heard about. And if that's not an understatement, I'm not sure what is. Hopefully we don't see that again. But what should the approach be, Coach, for these two teams with all the noise getting ready for this game?
Well, the Rams are just getting ready.
Yeah, I should ask about,
they're good. It's the Saints. What do the Saints have to do? The Saints are the ones that are dealing with the frustration. This is 2 years in a row. They had a freaky, fluky play knock them out of being in the Super Bowl, and they've got to put it behind them. Now, thankfully for Saints fans, all right, the game finished the other night with the Saints getting that big field goal, because otherwise, I can tell you right now, they would be losing their minds in New Orleans. Absolutely.
Conspiracy.
You think?
Right?
Here you go.
Look at Marcus stirring the pot.
Let me tell y'all something, man.
You threw that
First
out
of all, I'm from Louisiana.
Of course.
You could not imagine the amount of phone calls I got of people saying, oh, no, this NFL. My dad called me and said, I ain't watching the NFL no more.
Oh, that's right. Not just the Super Bowl.
I called him Sunday. I say, what you doing? Watching the game.
NFL?
but here's the deal. Here's what New Orleans is, and we talked about this a bunch on Get Up. I thought New Orleans would carry this vendetta all the way throughout the season, right? And the scary part of it is they have the people to do it. With Drew Brees orchestrating that comeback, and we can talk about the field goal and obviously what transpired in the first game. But when you look at this team, the more and more, this is just one key part for me. The more and more Drew Brees gets Jared Cook involved in this offense, they will become scarier than thou. Because we know what 41 can do. We know what 9 can do. The defense pressured Deshaun Watson. They sent a lot at him. It's a good football team, and the Rams know that they remember what took place last year.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest with you. I can't imagine the Saints are thinking about it that much. You know, like, first of all, Jared Cook wasn't there. Latavius Murray wasn't there.
I tend to agree, but
Sheldon
this time
Rankins,
I don't know.
But here's the thing. This is the reason why I don't. You go back to that 30-second drive of Week 1 last week. That was a focused football team. That was a football team that was in the moment. They're not thinking about, and I understand it was Week 1 versus Week 2, but when you have leadership like they do, and Sean Payton and Drew Brees, they allow their players, coaches and a quarterback that are very much so able to focus in the moment, they're at the task at hand. This is a faceless opponent type week for them because of that leadership. And to watch them execute those details at the end of that game told me that this is a team that's focused on a singular mission.
And because they won last week. I'm just telling you, if
you
they had not,
good thing.
If they had not, if they had not kicked that field goal,
this would have been.
It just would have frothed over, bubbled over. It would have been. Remember, that's how we got beat last year. We got beat by the refs again this year. I'm just telling you, it was really fortunate. Fortunate for them.
I'm telling you.
I mean, half the stadium was dressed as referees.
Some guys didn't even play in the game, though.
Some guys it's not close to, but the two guys that really control a lot what happened with the Saints.
I'm not saying that they don't think about it. I'm just saying it's not going to change their preparation this week or the way they play. This is one of the best teams in the NFL.
And they showed it. They showed it.
That's right.
All right, coming up, Dak Prescott's contract still up in the air, but Jerry Jones says a contract is imminent. He has a very definition of what that means.
Well, it means ready to take place, close, near, about to happen, those types of things.
Last weekend, only one Cowboy ever had passed for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. That was Tony Romo. He did it twice. On Sunday, Dak Prescott joined the club, a perfect passer rating in the process. And believe it or not, it was the first time a Cowboys quarterback had ever had a perfect passer rating with at least 20 throws. Coach of the week last week, you know what? No one asked me. Doesn't matter. I'm giving it to Kellen Moore because he helped dial this up. It was fun to watch.
Well, let's look at a play that I'm going to kind of deem like a triple option RPO that's really going to open up this offense and create some issues for defensive coordinators and defenses moving forward because they're utilizing Dak as a little bit of weapon. So first of all, understand that these receivers at the bottom of our screen are blocking, and that's a bubble. Now, what the Cowboys do is they put their tight end up at the top, and that's matched by a safety, right? Tight end there, matched by the safety. That's telling Dak I got man-to-man. So that bubble at the bottom of the screen, You can't throw that because of the numbers. Man on man on man. That bubble's not going to be good. Second part of this play is going to be this. They're going to go with Zeke on a zone read, and then they're going to take this tight end that's up at the top, arc release, and go block that safety. Now watch what it does for this offense. Remember, the second part of this triple option is that zone read. He's reading that defensive end. If the defensive end steps down, I pull it if I'm Dak. If he stays soft or wide, I give it to Zeke. Now remember, I told everybody it's man-to-man coverage. Look at that. That's Alec Ogletree as a linebacker, right? He has to step that way because Zeke is flowing that way in the run. Now that defensive end steps down, and all you've done is put your big body tight end blocking a little body DB, and you got Dak running in space. Now, coach, what does this arc release again by this tight end going to block that safety? What does it do to the defense?
Well, first of all, you're arcing that tight end down. Instead of blocking down on the defensive end and leaving the safety there, athlete on athlete in space, all right? By doing that, by arcing the tight end for the safety, now the quarterback's reading that defensive end. Defensive end gets out-athleted here, okay?
So you're saying that the fact that they arc release that safety allows Dak to make a read and then run on a lesser athlete.
Exactly right. Now, one part that I have to point out, Marcus,
Coach, let
big
me
man, tell me about this three technique.
You can talk concept all you want to, but
Up there,
right here, this three technique, he can't be back there with the linebacker, big dog. That is called point shaving.
But that's because
no beeper,
because they don't
Warnings.
block that defensive end. That's that double team
That's
into that linebacker.
That's okay. You get paid to either split that or keep it up there.
But that's that double team into the
4 yards
linebacker.
back.
So that's how they attacked it versus man, right?
That's
we
the
get
man
another
part.
look of it next versus man.
We should
These
get a
two
better hang by
linebackers.
that. That DN should not get fooled there.
You're going to get a slant on the inside. But watch these two linebackers, because it's man, flow to Zeke or flow to Pollard on this run to open up an easy throw to the tight end right there. Another RPO attacking man. All right, well, we're just going to play him in zone. All right, well, Kellen Moore is ready for that. This is what they do. They run a little stick concept where he's going to shoot to the flat, come up and run a stick. They're going to run Zeke on this inside zone, and now this linebacker right here. This is zone defense again, not man. His responsibility is first as a defensive coach, attack the run, attack the run. Look what it does. He has to flow to this run. It opens up an easy throw for Dak to that stick route right there.
So what you've done here, you've created conflict. There's a run-pass conflict for the linebacker. All right, tough situation.
This linebacker.
I feel it. Absolutely. The one you pointed out. If he fills the gap, he can't stop the stick. If he goes to stop the stick, he can't stop the run. That's the conflict that the coordinator, Kellen Moore, has created.
RPO game. It's here. It's here to stay.
It looks like it might be here to stay.
I'm glad I don't play it.
Good luck. Stop it.
Problematic for the rest of that division. Listen, J.J. Watt's picking on little kids. No, I'm just kidding. He's a good guy. But there was a little incident. Luckily, he made it right. We'll show you what happened coming up.